Hello, everybody. This is Peter Palmiotti of Human Art Studios, and this is Making Comics and Art, episode 149. Man, that's crazy. Can't believe I've been doing this for almost 150 episodes. Yeah, trying to be more consistent. So I started this series, but there's plenty of videos before that if you haven't checked out my older episodes, and lots of collections of gatherings with other writers, artists, creators. Go check out my past videos. But thank you for coming here today. Give this video a like. If you really want to support me, become a Patreon. I occasionally throw stuff there. Today, as I've been doing all this month, joining the whole Inktober thing and drawing popular characters. This is not a list of hey Aaron, welcome. This is not a list of my top 31 characters, but all of them I do like. And today is Power Man, otherwise known as Luke Cage. So let me get started. I got some reference. And yeah, so I was thinking earlier, like, that it's not always easy to bring your A game. Comic artists really, they have to draw or ink or color or whatever skill set they're using. They have to do it pretty much every day. And the whole point of me joining Inktober is to freshen up my skills, because I don't get a chance to draw every day. And not every piece I've done thus far has been world class. I am mostly known for my inking, but even as an inker, I have my off days. You know how it goes. So there have been days thus far that I've struggled and didn't think I was doing my best work, but that's okay. Like, as long as I'm doing finished pieces, I consider that a win. Take this. Hey, buddy. How you doing? How ya doing? So yeah, today I'm doing Power Man. If you didn't know, Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage because of Power Man. He's one of the Coppolas. So instead of coming out as Nicolas Coppola, he decided to go with Cage because of Luke Cage. He thought that was an awesome character. And I definitely agree with him. So this is the older Luke Cage model. I think nowadays he design-wise, he still has Mule t-shirt. I think he's got blue jeans instead of spandex pants. And of course, I start my stream and all my cats are outside. Cat starts clawing at the window. Well, you'll just have to wait to get in until I'm done streaming. Papa has a life too, you know. Hey, it's Frank, otherwise known as Salazar Art Nation. Hello, friends. Hello, enemies. Who here is your enemy, Frank? That's not right. Yeah, I might as well. I dropped this link out to a group of friends, but let me drop it here. I can't pin it. Maybe Frank can do it because he has a wrench, but that doesn't matter. Here's the no. Here's a streamline link. If anybody watching wants to drop in, I'm just chit-chatting away while I work on today's. Come on. What's up? I think my it always seems like my mouse needs I need to switch the batteries out or something. But there's a little delayed effect sometimes. So yeah, this is not going to be a full body shot, but I figured I'd do a little more than a headshot because he's Power Man. So yeah, even though they updated his costume, I kind of like this original look for him just a tad better. Than his current look, you know. I used to read Power Man. It was a crazy book. It was very 70s. I think one of his villains, I forget the character's name, but he had an actual fish face, if I'm remembering correctly. He was a pimp or drug dealer or something. There's not enough room to do a whole figure here. I just want to get to his waist at least, because he has the most awesomest belt. Let's see, can I? Okay. Probably not. This looks a little thick. So Inktober, for those here that don't know, oh man, come on. Jesus. Somebody's knocking on my neighbor's door, and it sounds like, I mean, it sounds far away, but come on, it's 10:30 at night here. So Inktober, for those that don't know, is a colorist, and he colors a book called The Flock, and that's currently on Kickstarter, and I pledged that today to get copies. It's 3 issues. I believe he colored issues 2 and 3. For whatever reason, the original colorist left the book. And I've been watching his progress as a colorist, and he's just getting better and better. I'm going to have him coloring one of the prints for retro, so looking forward to that. Oh, got an intruder.
Hey,
Captain Goggles himself is making an
sir.
appearance.
Should I get my goggles?
So are you doing Inktober, or are you just drawing?
I'm unofficially doing it. I'm just I said just to do the minimum of 3, and I'm doing 8. But after that, I'm just gonna like work on other stuff.
Right.
At least get the just get the I guess get back into the saddle, or just work on my characters. So I've been trying to do the Captain Goggles and Mescalman characters in a more updated style. So I've been calling it October, but I think tomorrow is going to be my last official day that I do it, and after that I'm going to practice like some basics. So I'll probably do like a expression sheet, character sheets, a perspective scene, and until I stop.
Right. Yeah. I need to do character sheets for retro eventually. I decided I'm probably waiting for issue 2 to do that, because I want to really get a handle on how I draw the character. So, as opposed to, the way Rich draws them, the artist of issue 1.
Okay. Yeah, make a blank sheet so I can do something. Already did my drawing for the day today. It's the truckle, rock truckle.
Dun, 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 dun. All right.
So Marv started shipping his books to the U.S. Mario.
Is it? I thought he was teaming up.
Like his contact.
Yeah.
But he reached out to me. Told mine is on its way, so I think it'll be here next week.
Cool.
Which it'll be here a few days before I leave on vacation. So that's why I didn't I didn't commit to 31 days because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do them because I'm gonna go see my kids and I want to go have fun with them and not worry. Oh no, I gotta get this drawing done, kids. Sorry.
Is that just where they live?
They live in Corpus, so like it's maybe three
Corpus.
hours away from here. Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh, okay. Cool. I've only been to Texas once.
Well, I live here, so
It was a long time ago. My brother had a couple of signings years and years ago, like a conventions, book signing, bookstore,
okay.
one or two other things. And he's like, "Hey, you want to go to Texas?" I was like, "Okay, that's fun." And on the way back home, like we were taking, it was like 3 separate planes, and one of them was tiny, tiny. I remember the engine started smoking, and Jimmy, back then, this is like early on, like he didn't fly much at that point. Either did I, for that matter. And when the engine started smoking, he started freaking out. I was like, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
It's like I wasn't worried. I don't know why, but it's like it'll be okay. We made it and everything. It was fine.
I've never been on a plane, so
I know. It's fun. The best is when it first, takes off the runway and you really feel it. Once you kind of in the air, you don't feel it at all, pretty much.
that's cool. Anna was just on a few planes because she went on vacation.
Yeah. Hope she had fun.
Yeah. I might as well make the announcement because she's starting like her work is ramping up.
Right.
So we're gonna have to change times when we do the Toronto. So it's gonna be earlier. It's gonna
Uh-oh.
be 7 p.m. Central for me.
Okay.
Hey guys.
I think 5 for her.
Hello. Hey, Dojo.
Hello, Dojo.
Welcome.
Thank you. What are you guys talking about here? Looks like a draw stream going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing my Inktober piece. Like I've been streaming every day this month, just drawing characters I like. I don't get to draw that much, so this is my opportunity to do a little bit of that. And just chatting about anything. Frank here does a show, and he was telling everybody that they're changing the time they do it.
Yeah. The Toronto Creative Cast. We're gonna start doing it 7 p.m. Central, and we have a guest lined up. I booked a guest today.
So 7 p.m. Central. Is it a regular show that you have on a weekly basis?
Yes, every week on Monday nights. It was at 10 p.m. Central, but just because of my co-host work schedule is changing a bit, so we're bumping it a little bit earlier.
So the reason I'm asking is when I was shilling for my book Siamese a while back, I went on like 80 shows, but I kept track of all the shows I was on. And I created something I call the CG Guide. And that guide is like a TV guide for all of the shows that are on a regular basis. I put them on that schedule, and that's on my website so that anybody who would like to go on shows can reach out to various hosts and ask if there's a chance to get on with them.
Okay.
Nice.
That's what someone did today. Actually, a guest that we had on like maybe a couple of months ago recommended me to someone, so they contacted me. And
Okay.
you
So
know,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we had like an opening because like I was just saying, my co-host went on vacation, so we took 2 weeks off, and I just did a draw stream this Monday, and I just had like my backup co-host. So we haven't had like a guest. So this is like our first guest in 3 weeks. So
Okay,
like
cool.
we had time. Like we were able to book. And we're not usually like swamped with guests, but like if someone
Well,
wants to be
you
on,
never
then
know. If you end up in the CG guide, people might reach out to you more if you're open and available. What I'm sorry, what was the name of the show again?
it's the Turaco Creative Cast. So TURACO and Creative Cast.
Creative
And
Cast. Okay, cool. Well, I'll put you on that guide.
sure. Are you in the Draw and Talk Discord?
No, I am in the Genesis Crew Discord.
Okay.
Oh, is there one for them? Or just the Twitter group?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. It's a Twitter account. Yep.
Because it's like I've been thinking, it's like, I've been wanting to create a Discord forever, and I was like, I should do one for the guys for the because there is only the Twitter thing, and conversations work better within Discord because if you're not catching the latest in the conversation on Twitter, then you're completely behind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, I sign into work. I come in 8 hours later, and I don't even see the last chat that I saw before. It's so far gone.
Yeah. Discord is much, but it's like a forum kind of thing, and it
Okay.
could be as complicated or as you want, or just simple. Because me and Frank are part of. There's a community called AAA community on Discord, started by Marshall Lee. Now it's like there's so many people on that one, and it's so like there's so many different sections to that, and so many conversations going on. It's kind of wild.
Well, I'm always looking to reach out, to reach new people and meet them, see what it is that they're involved in creating, and meet people like I get to meet Captain Goggles here. You're calling him Frank, right? Your name is Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Brian. Nice to
Hey,
meet
Brian.
Nice to meet you, Brian. Like,
you. Kind of.
Besides in the chat, like.
Right. Yeah. You can also find me on Salazar Art Nation on YouTube and on Facebook.
Okay.
And Twitter, I'm Nation Salazar. On Instagram, Salazar Art Nation. So I'm easy to get a hold of. Like if you want to like come on the show, and just give us like a little heads up, and we'll see like.
Okay. Well, my Siamese campaign just closed down, but I've got a new one I'm starting. I've got a pre-launch sign-up page right now. It's the Healing Wars book 1 called The Shifter. Basically, I got a special license with an award-winning novelist to turn her novels into graphic novels.
Wow.
And yeah. I would say I would liken The Shifter, if I had to like compare it to something, I would compare it to either Divergent or The Hunger Games. So there's some similarities, but of course she takes the story on her own route. And the main character, Naya, is she's an orphan, and she has healing powers like her sister and some other people that are in the Healers League. But most people, when they can take pain away from you, and they push it into this special metal called pinvium. But Naya, the main character, can't do that. She can only take it from one person and push it to another person. So she's shifting pain from one to another. And the occupying force in her country that have basically, conquered them, if they found out she could do that, they would weaponize her against her own people, and that's where the story begins.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I signed up for that. It looked cool.
Oh, good. Thanks. Glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah. So did you read the books first and then got in touch with the author, or how did that work
Oh my
out?
gosh, it's such an interesting story. My wife read the books first, okay, and she said, because you like science fiction fantasy, she said to me, I think you would like these books. So I started reading them. I got through the first two of the trilogy, and I was talking to my friend Steve and was telling him he ought to read them. And Steve says to me, "Hey, do you want to talk to the author?" And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, "I work with her husband." I'm like, "Oh, dude, are you serious?" So he got me in touch with her husband, who then got me in touch with her, and she and I have been talking since then. And I asked her for permission to turn into graphic novels. And with I got to be honest, she wants a licensing fee, but it's super reasonable, I think, based on the opportunity here. And so the
Right.
licensing fee, I'm going to make it part of the crowdfunding that I'm raising the money to pay her. But yeah, she's excited about it. I guess her and her husband have. They didn't say they were lifelong comic book fans, but they're sort of comic book fan adjacent. They have read comics before, so
Right.
she's excited to see this become a graphic novel. So, and
That's
my
awesome.
my creative team is very international. I have Zilson Costa doing the art. He's from Brazil. Um, I have H.G. Tobalina from Spain. She is the
Okay.
colorist, and Matthias Zanetti from Argentina is doing the lettering.
Nice.
So super international flavor to the creative team. Um, and Zilson and I have such a good rapport. When I send him a script and he sends the page back, as a writer slash editor, I want to find something to tell him that needs to change, just to make sure that things match my vision. And I tell you what, guys, he's spot on almost every time. I almost never have anything to change.
Oh,
In
wow.
some
That's
instances, it's even
cool.
better. In some instances, it's even better than I had originally pictured, because he's got some leeway. If he says, I see that you wanted 9 panels on this page, but I think 6 would be better, and here's what I think it should look like. And it's like,
Right.
dude, you nailed it, dude. Six is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh, and the reason I say that about him is he was the artist in Siamese number 3 and 4. So I've been working with him for a few years now.
Oh, okay. Cool. That definitely helps. Build
Definitely.
up
And
a whole
I
rapport.
sometimes, though, I'm afraid to mention who it is because I don't want anybody to poach him. You know what I mean? Like go and
Yeah.
steal him from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the nature of business. That's,
Yeah. So Frank, do you have a campaign that you're working on?
Uh, in sorts, I haven't done a campaign yet, but I am working right now. I'm doing some mini comics, and I decided to I want to put those as a collected volume.
Okay.
And after that, and I was just thinking like a small run, but I think after that, we're gonna turn those stories and expand on them and turn into a graphic novel. So my co-host from the Truckle Creative Cast is also we're collabing. So she'll do some. Right now, she's working on the script. We've talked like about how we want the story to go, and so once I finish it up the storyline, we're gonna get into the graphic novel and like, start working on it. That's actually what I'm using Inktober for the first couple of weeks to just get my style just a little bit more honed,
Okay,
and
great.
yeah, and then we're gonna just get into it and do get into the story and we're very starting, but we do plan on crowdfunding it. So
All right.
that'll be cool.
So it came from the radio. That's Mark Torres. Hey, just stopping by to say what's up. And then I also like Luke Cage. Not sure if anyone else made the joke about the typo. Oh, I meant to change that. It says like Cage.
Oh, is there? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, yeah, I'll fix that. The world is not going to end because I made a typo.
Yeah. Oh, and one of the characters is Captain Goggles, so I just kind of took on that.
Oh, okay.
But we're expanding it beyond because on the show I'm Captain Goggles and she's Masked Woman, and those are the characters that we're using, and started loosely based on us, but like we're adding changes because we didn't want it to be like, oh, it's just like our self inserts. Like we're actually changing things.
Okay.
So we're rebooting it, and working on the backstories, working on a better storyline and character development. So we're excited. Like once we got like a little bit more serious about it, I've been working on it almost daily, and she's got her own project, so she's got like a whole bunch of stuff she's working on. So yeah, like we'll talk about it on the show, on the Travel Creative Cast. So you're gonna check that out as soon as we mention it.
Sure.
The one I just did, it was like a draw stream. It was a draw stream, and I talked a little bit about it, how I was kind of like revamping it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a co-host of two YouTube shows. One's called the K Manifesto Show with Dojo Kun Comics, and on that one, we are very topic driven. So, like for example, just earlier tonight, our topic was why you should not crowdfund your comic. But really, it was sort of a clickbait kind of thing. What we said was you should not crowdfund your comic if you haven't made your financial decisions, and you should not crowdfund your comic if you're not ready to shill it on streams and things like that. So we always have guests on the show. We had 3 guests come on who talked about the various important aspects of crowdfunding your comic and the things you have to consider before you ever launch. And then my other show is called the Co-Hosts Show. And the fun thing about that is I have a different co-host on every week, and they are co-hosts of other shows. So it's like my rotating co-host is a co-host.
Nice.
It's just a little shtick, but I have a different co-host every week, and then I have at least 2 other creators who have live campaigns, whether they're in demand or in their funding stage. And so a couple of nights ago, let me see if I get this. Where's my? So I had Dan Fraga on a little while ago. I've had Aaron Lepresti and Andy Smith on. Where's my list? Oh, okay, yeah. So last night it was Amanda was my co-host. She's pretty popular in in Michael Bancroft's stream and streams like that.
Amanda
and
B.
Yep, Amanda B. Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
And I had Matt Burke on. He's the creator of Butch Cleaver, and Stefan Velez, who is kind of new to the community. He goes by Owasi V, and he's got a book out called Veil Walker.
Right.
But on Wednesday the 13th, I'm going to have Patrick Thomas Parnell on, Chris Fix, and Steve Dye. So yeah, fortunately I'm getting some big names to come on the show to talk about their campaigns.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
But again, they don't have to be big names. If you've got a campaign live and you'd want to come on and you're new to the community, I'd still love to get eyes on your stuff and hopefully get you some backers. Hell, 24 Eyes. I've been seeing you around a lot tonight on various chats.
Yeah, he's shown up here a bunch of times recently. Watching me draw.
Yeah.
He's awesome. But that's really cool, man. Like, I'm working on my own comic retro. I did it quick crowdfunder a couple of years back for initial funding. That was only a 5-day Kickstarter, and I plan to finish the book this year and get it out to those pledgers. If there's enough time this year, I'll do it Indiegogo. If not, I'll do it early next year. So
Okay.
I'll definitely give you a ring.
Yeah, I was gonna say keep me in mind and hit us up and we'll get you on the show. One or the other.
That'd be awesome.
Cool. Yeah. And on my show, you don't need to have a campaign. Usually, people reach out because they have a campaign, but you can come on and talk about
Okay.
different things. So
Just come on and chat with you, huh? Just hang out and chill.
yeah, we can do a topic, or we could just like usually like when I have someone that I don't know them that well, we'll talk. We'll kind of get to know them,
Hmm.
and hey, what you got going on? How'd you get into business? Just stuff like that. But just go from there, and then
Okay.
so we've
So
had
Monday nights at
Peter.
7.
Yeah, we've had Peter on the show before a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm your biggest guest. Just say
Okay.
Yeah, we also had Jeff Lafferty.
Yeah.
So I think like both of you are like have actually worked in the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Industry pros, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I've had plenty of people on this channel as guests, and like direct one-on-one interviews and just collections of guests. I'm doing this Inktober thing, and it's kind of boring doing it alone. It's like I'm not really interviewing people at the moment, but it's nice. It's nice to just have other voices come on and chit chat.
Oh yeah. So I see in the chat that It Came From the Radio is asking Frank and I to both reach out and maybe be on their show. So
Cool.
Oh, okay.
yeah, It Came From the Radio. I can be found on Twitter at Dojo Kun Comics. So slide in my DMs and let me know about your show, and we'll talk. Maybe we can do like an exchange thing where you come on my show, I come on your show. Get different eyes on our projects.
Yeah, Mark's that's Mark. It Came From the Radio. He's a great guy. I know him years back, and I've been on It Came From the Radio, and he does it as a Zoom thing.
Okay.
And he has a bunch of co-stars and co-hosts and co-stars. They're a really good group of people.
So does it have anything to do with radio? Because I was a disc jockey for a couple of years. I was on WNJY Joy 103.
Years back. I'm originally from New York, and I believe Mark is still there. Years back, we I was a co-host and he was the main host, and we had some other people, but we did a show out in Long Island for a while. It was like late evenings on a like Asian radio station.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Palmiotti. Yeah, that sounds Asian.
Yeah. No, the radio station was like mostly Asian programming.
Oh, okay.
But they opened up some spots where people can buy a spot, and so that was our show. It was the Comic Novice, and I was doing like comic news, which I just stole from the internet.
Okay.
It was fun. It was fun. It was like to actually go, travel to Long Island and go to the radio station itself and be there as we did our program. It was really cool.
I'll bet it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It took me 2.5 hours to get there, but whatever.
Wow.
It's like I was living in Staten Island, so I had to take the ferry, then a train, then another train, then he'd pick me up.
Commitment, man.
Yeah, it was like
Wow.
insane, but yeah, it was just totally worth it. It was a lot of fun.
Well, speaking of radio, what I'm drawing right now is an old radio character, and I just finished it. So let me show it.
Is it the shadow?
It is.
There you go. The shadow knows.
I was actually listening to the Shadow today and yesterday. I've been listening to old time radio on YouTube. So yeah, I'm gonna draw a shadow.
Cool. Mark says it was WGBB 1240 AM, Long Island's oldest radio station. Yep.
Hmm.
I could say, hey, I did radio.
Yeah, the station I was on, like I said, WNJY, was in Indiana near Purdue University, and it was an oldie. It was an oldie station, and I would do the afternoon drive.
Very cool.
I got to know a lot of music that was older than me, and the station was I guess I'll call it old enough that we had all the music on reel-to-reel machines, not on CD or radio carts. So we'd have to put a huge reel on the machine, cue it up, wind it up, and put it to the other reel, so that when it would play, it would go to what's called a cue tone, which would stop the reel, and then it would start the next reel. So we had like 8. We had a whole huge like room full of reel-to-reel machines, and 8 of them were there, and you never knew which one was going to fire next. But you know, they all had oldies music on them.
Nice. Oh,
Cool.
there's another guest coming in.
24 eyes.
Hey, welcome.
Oh, 24 Eyes is Outcast Owls?
Yeah.
Well, if you see Outcast Owls in the chat, that's usually my partner Skeletor typing. But the channel is Outcast Owls is my channel.
Oh, all right, cool. Because I just got reached out to by Outcast Owls to talk about going on the show.
Yep, that was me.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah, any Twitter interactions on the Outcast Owls is me. Any YouTube Outcast Owls live comments are my friend or like the other guy on the channel.
Gotcha.
But
Okay,
I
cool.
always, if I'm in the chat, I'm always 24 hours in the chat.
Cool.
Welcome.
How are you, sir?
Doing good. How you doing this evening?
Pretty good. I did a stream earlier that was pretty good with Zaid Studios. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He does a good Sunday stream. He's been working on his project that he just launched the sign up for. And then
Jeremy is good people.
Yeah. I'm trying to set up one for Jason on Saturday, and then I got some English cats, the ones that did. I'm doing 2 on Saturday. I'm doing a double feature, but I'm doing it 2 different times. I'm doing one at like noon and one at like midnight.
Busy man.
Yeah, I just want to, I'm trying to try. There's a little bit of like legitimizing I'm trying to do with some of it, and then also I'm just trying to cover ground because this is an expansion to our channel, and because I do a show that's kind of reactionary and kind of about like internet lore and different funny stuff. But this is like the show I do is about pop culture, so covers comic books and video games and anything else. But the guys that did Beefheads, that campaign, Mary Boy's Beefheads,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have them on at midnight on Saturday, which apparently is 8 a.m. for them.
Okay.
Yeah, they're over in England, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's so much easier doing it with Australia than it is to do with England. Like,
Yes.
they're just far enough off that they're like completely flipped of you. At least like with Australia, it's like the next day and in the afternoon or something, or in the morning.
Yeah, you add 16 hours. So you add, if it's like it's 11 o'clock here, you add 11, so 11 a.m. plus another 4 hours. If you're talking like Melbourne, for example.
Yeah. I used to stream with an Aussie cat, and There was like one that we did Thursday night, which was at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. But the other one we did was on Friday night, and it was like the afternoon time for him,
Mm-hmm.
on Saturday.
Yeah, I completely forget like who's exactly what time it is for them or whatever. I just if I set up a stream, I remember it for that amount of time, then I forget. But it's
the nature of my show is like I'm doing it, like it's basically an interview with a discussion, and so like I gotta find figure out how I can accommodate people.
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I've done that before. Sometimes we just did that. We had Dan Ikas on last month. And
Is
we
he
did
in
it
England?
earlier? No, yeah, he's from I forget where he's from. He's in the U.S., but like he had like stuff going on at a certain time, so it's like okay,
Right.
so we just did it earlier, and that's when we're thinking like this might be a good time to do the show regularly since we're already thinking about having to change the schedule, and that kind of worked out. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've done streams with Lucifer Storm and Russ Leach and a bunch of people out in England, and it seems like midday here is good for them. I don't know.
yeah,
Everybody's schedule is different. It's like
Yeah, so midday here would be like their early to late evening.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be midnight. It's gonna be my Friday night. It's gonna be like 12 a.m. It's gonna be their 8 a.m. something like that. I'm in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
Well, I'm in Spokane. It doesn't matter. I mean, like I say it on my channel. You can find me. I'm not worried about being doxxed because like I literally do streams on different like landmarks around Spokane. So if people need to pull up on me, they could find me anyways.
Yeah, I don't worry about getting doxxed because I live out in the middle of freaking nowhere in like farmland. So I mean, I'd see you coming from a couple miles away.
I'm from Ohio originally, but
okay.
The Marine Corps moved me to California, and then divorce kept me there for a little while, and then I just recently, like 6 months ago, moved here to Spokane.
Oh, nice.
And I'm digging it. It's a good mix of both worlds.
So yeah, I'm up in the thumb area of Michigan, if you guys know what I mean by that.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Peter and Frank?
If I look at a map, maybe.
Yeah.
If you picture the back of your left hand, if you hold up your left hand and look at the back of the left hand, you see Michigan. That's your right hand, Frank. There you go. So look at the back of your hand, and the thumb area is where I'm at, up near the top of the thumb.
Right here.
Yep.
Don't make fun of me.
Oh, see, if you're going to be my friend, you got to get used to that.
Yeah. Check out the show. Like we have our backup co-host. Like he's like that all the time.
Oh, okay.
We're like that. Actually, we just did this Monday, so you'll see how we kind of like go off each other.
If you're a comic skater, you should hit up. You should make sure to hit up Good Stuff because him and Eric they're doing this race to 1,000 like push where they're everybody hits them up, gets on the list. They're like circulating channels and stuff to get subscribers. Anybody adjacent to CG or whatever CG should jump on it.
I didn't feel like I deserved to be on the list because I'm not CG, but I have all these friends that are CG.
Yeah, I'm not CG, but I guess I'm CG adjacent.
Yeah,
I think,
definitely.
Nefarious, I think he Oh, he's CG, but he has like a lot of CG people on his show. And
Yeah, yeah.
Nefarious is definitely CG. Yeah, he was just on my show tonight.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the 3 that came on to talk about crowdfunding, and we talked to him about how he got into the chats in a lot of CG shows and got to be well known
Yeah.
before he launched his campaign. Yep.
Yeah, he did a lot of market research, and his campaign it's a loss leader, but it is sick. It is the most amazing. Like it literally just kicked the. There is a stretch goal every $1,000, and it started off like at the first $500.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it was ridiculous.
He's
Yeah.
got like
Yeah.
20 stretch goals.
No,
He's got
26. He's at like 26.
26
goals.
now. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
He's got like a ton of merchandise that are add-ons and
Yeah.
tiers. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
backed them because we met him from the AAA creators. So that's where we first met him, and I
Okay.
backed up his
Yeah, I'm in
campaign.
that Discord. That's a good Discord.
Hey, Dory.
Hey, Dory. I'm
People
sort of
need to
running
get
into
into
Dory in a
Discord.
couple different places. Yeah.
Yeah, she's around.
Yeah.
This is one thing I had to learn with Twitter because it's boomer too. Like Twitter, you realize like the smallest percentage of America uses Twitter. Like more people use Facebook than Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Let me mention. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but they have to get back to me. But I talked to Aaron about coming up on my channel on Sunday for the last hour or so of their campaign, because their Kickstarter ends, I think it's 1:15 in the afternoon on Sunday. So
Hi, Landon.
we'll see if that happens. Yeah, Landon's here. Hello.
Landon.
Welcome. If you
Landon
didn't already like the video, please like the video. Let me get seen across the YouTube's averse.
So yeah, Peter, on Sunday evening, Neff and his wife host something called Sunday Nights All Right for Singing, and it's like a karaoke stream. So if you catch it this Sunday, if you're there when they first begin, I'll be on there singing at least a couple of songs before I have to shut up because my wife goes to bed.
Oh, are they doing that this?
It's every other Sunday, and this Sunday is one of them. Yep.
Oh, because I thought he mentioned he was doing a show Sunday evening. I don't know. Anyway, maybe that's what he meant. I thought he was going somewhere else. But cool. Yeah, it's like I've checked a lot of those live, and it's like he's been on my channel a bunch of times. I've been on theirs.
Yeah, he's been on mine, I think, twice, and I'm trying to get on his. I'm trying to get him back on mine because I want to ask him some questions about cons, since he just did his first cons. So pick his brain on that.
But if you pledge to their Kickstarter, make sure to get my cover, the one I inked.
I'm not. I pledged. I think I just got the. No, actually, not the Kickstarter. I think it was the Indiegogo. So I haven't pledged.
Yeah, probably Indiegogo. Well, the Indiegogo, it had my print. They did a print with my character retro. And so.
I'm not sure if I qualified for that because I got it like the last day. So.
Yeah, unless you got the box tier, which was 150 or whatever it was, then more than likely you didn't get it.
Nah, I didn't get the box. I could barely at that time I was barely gonna be able to afford that one. Like, but I got it back.
I hear you. It's like I have too many friends and everybody has a campaign.
Yeah, like I backed. I don't know how many I backed. Just the last month or last couple of months, and like I'm barely starting to get some of the stuff in, which is good. For some that they're sending them out pretty quickly. So
yeah.
So far in 2021, I've backed 76 campaigns, and
Jesus.
as they start rolling in, I'm getting in trouble because my wife's the one getting the mail. She's like, how many of these damn things did you? Like, oh shoot, I got to get out to the mailbox before her.
I'm single now, but my ex was like, "Have you been pledging to too many campaigns again?" Yeah, baby.
But I don't go to the local comic book store anymore. I've got no reason to.
Yeah, that's my comic book store, pledging to campaigns.
The big two, who I used to, absolutely love, I can't stand their stuff anymore.
What? You're not a fan of Safe Space and Snowflake?
I'm glad I recognized that was sarcasm.
Yes. That's my go-to because they never even put out the book. So
right.
I'll make fun of
Oh man, it never came out.
It never came out. I wanted to just out of morbid curiosity, but like,
I think they might have.
Says, "How are you guys' energy levels? Mine is -0. Been working hard, buddy. I got a little more energy tonight. Last night I was pretty wasted."
What you doing last night?
Well, speaking of that, guys, listen, thank you so much for just bringing me on out of the blue. I saw you put the link in the thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'll see if they'll have me on.
All right. Thanks for coming on. It's been good talking with you.
Yeah, it's great.
We'll definitely do a full episode at one point.
Okay, yeah, great.
Reach out to me, and we'll see when we can have you on the show.
Awesome. It was great to meet you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Now that he's gone, we can talk about him.
So now you talk all the smack.
Yeah. You believe what he said?
Nothing controversial.
I've seen him in the chats, but I never talked to him. It's like, oh, that's cool. I actually get to hear people.
Yeah, you could start putting names to voices at least, and
yeah.
And
I don't know if you ever talked to Man of the Atom from the AAA server, but he sounds like him.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, is that him? Like, that's not, like, did he get a new name? Like,
yeah.
I think they're from the same part of the world, so
maybe.
So.
Yeah. Maybe.
So what you been up to, 24 Eyes?
I have been hitting people up, and like, what happens is that like you don't get like enough response for casting, and you hit a bunch of people up, and so then I got overwhelmed, and so like I've been moving and grooving on trying to plan out shows and make it all work, because I kind of added extra show. Like I filled out 2 months. I don't like to go too far in the future beyond like 2 months.
Right.
But I do know that some people are like booked out to the end of the year. But I like to leave it a little bit open, or like if I get a couple of extra shows and that's cool too.
Yeah, I try not to overbook either. So I'll leave a couple of weeks just like kind of loose. And then like if I can get someone like last minute, great. If not, we'll just like do updates and stuff like that. But like, I try not to book too far in advance, because then they'll forget, or I'll forget, or I'll overbook. I try not to ask too many at the same time, because I'll have like people on the same date. Like, yeah, I can come on that day. Like, well, I just had so like, oh, I have to schedule you for some other time. So I don't want like doing that.
My friend Phil, he's got
Phil Rude?
The creative event con. What's his YouTube channel? I forget now. Anyway, Philip Russert.
Okay.
Yeah, he books his in advance, and he has like big names. He has small independent guys, everything in between. He books everything in advance, and I'm pretty sure he's already booked into next year. But that, I don't want to. It's like I don't like booking more than one person at a time, frankly, because my schedule changes so much too. But I'm definitely looking forward to slowing down at the end of the year as well. So, I got too much work going on to really make that kind of a priority. So
I'm kind of building up right now, so it's I have a little bit extra going on. But I did go. I'm trying to mix. I don't want to do just online people. I do want to get with some local people too. So there is some things that I'm going to check out. I went to the local Comic Con, and actually, what I'm hoping to do is talk to some of the creators because Spokane is not that far from like California. So they're California. It's not that far. Like it's a 6-hour drive from Seattle. So there are creators that are like in the vicinity from a couple of different states and whatnot. You could, pour into it because there was only honestly 2 or 3 I think there was only 3 comic creators that had an independent project. There was only 2 or 3 people that actually worked in the comic book industry. John Heater was there. Rita Repulsa was there. Some guy from Breaking Bad was there. And then like a bunch of junk and stuff. And I was like, this is really kind of an opportunity because Spokane is a decent sized city and there is like 5 comic book shops in town. And, it would be cool to have like some, the guy that came here, there hadn't been like a comic book scene. So this is a new thing. And he's been doing it for a few years and he got smashed with COVID. So he was shut down for like a year. Right. So he had to come back. But I just think that there's a lot of room to boost it up and make it pretty awesome. Because he also started the one in Idaho in Coeur d'Alene like a week later. So really, like if you were gonna make the trip out here, if the con was advertised well enough and big enough, then people from Portland, people from Bend, people from Seattle, like there's Boise, there are major cities and like within 6 hours in all directions, So people could pour in. It could be a real opportunity.
Right.
Well, I was there. And I did talk to an artist that is like not a comic book artist, but he is like a hot rod artist, and he is officially licensed through whatever company that owns the Rat Fink logos and stuff. And so he is authorized to create new Rat Fink pieces of artwork.
Nice.
But he does all that cool kind of like hot rod, like brute artwork, and I'm stoked to talk to him and possibly commission him for something for my channel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I really want an Allen, one of those hot rods. Yeah, I fucking love hot rod artwork. So that was exciting. Talk some Star Wars people. I found there's a whole group of people that dress up. They have like realistic costumes, like from Star Wars movies, like like real props and stuff. And they do charity events, which is pretty cool. They go show up and help raise money for different things.
Like the stormtroopers, what's it called? The 401.
This is the 501. Yeah, that's the
501. Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty dope. So I'm gonna try to talk to those people. Good time, but like I said, I think that there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, a lot of opportunity because like I picked up one book. One book was about unicorns, and I don't care how masculine you try to make a fucking unicorn. I'm not buying a goddamn unicorn book, dude. Like it's just not happening ever. And the guy who was selling the book was wearing unicorn horns, and I'm sorry, but no, you lost your sale with your unicorn horn. Out of here with that.
I did a short story in a book called Werewolves and Unicorns.
Well, maybe if they're
Where
getting slaughtered, but I'm talking about like the unicorn was like the protagonist.
well, a lot of the stories in the book, it was an anthology, and it was 28 people doing stories. A lot of them did werewolf stories. Some of them did unicorn stories. I did a griffin story
Okay,
because it was like mythical creatures,
that's
So,
cool.
Yeah, I know Scott did like a little sea monster, but he based it on this song by the Police. So it was the
Okay.
lyrics, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had like this little sea monster in the back. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Which
That's
I have
pretty dope.
here somewhere. I think it might be in the living room. I was like,
But I did get this one book. This guy had this property called Kinetic, and he had 8 issues of it, and he had the singles, and he had all of them in one tray, and I was like, yeah, hand me the tray, because that's how I prefer to consume it over the singles, especially just because of wear and tear. Like the books just hold up better. But
Right.
I got that, and then he was signing everything, so that was pretty dope too. So I'm gonna hit him up and see if he wants to come on the show, and see if he knows about like all the online stuff, because he's already done the work. Like he could just put that project on Indiegogo, and just set up a sale. He did.
Is it like a sci-fi book or Connecticut?
No, it's like a superhero book. It's like so
Oh,
like the guy is like kinetic energy,
right. Yeah.
kind of cool. It's like the hero of the town wasn't that good, and he was like one of these like the kids on the low end of town. I'm part of the way through. I'm like a third of the way through it,
Right.
and so he's coming up, and he's like a young superhero, and he was like never a fighter, so he's got to learn everything.
Cool. That's one of the decisions I had to make. Like, I got my character, and there's a history to him, which I'll eventually get to.
Hmm.
But it's like, at what point am I starting this story? And it's like,
That's a good
so,
question.
yeah, you know,
yeah, it's cool.
didn't want to do it too early because it's a story I'll get to.
You want to do it in his childhood?
Well,
Man, PTP made a smart move with his character that can just sit there and jump through time, like 1994, 1980, it's 1970. You can just like go, do Johnny Phantasm, whatever, for a long fucking time. So that's pretty smart. I'm pretty excited. What I like is that there is books that are doing really well that I don't even have any interest in, and I want that because that's what used to exist. When that existed, I used to be able to go to the comic book shop and get what I wanted. But now that like they have eliminated down everybody's like nobody's safe and nobody gets to have what they want, and it's gone down to this like one version of things. It's it's pretty dope to be in a community where people are creating new property. Like I'm pretty open to seeing anybody's stuff. I don't really care what it is as long as it doesn't look like furry art or has like like I said, unicorns being the main protagonist. Like I'm just not down for. You can't. I don't care if the unicorns hunting vampires or not. Like get out of here.
all right, Frank, you can't sell them your furry unicorn story.
I know. Or like the Captain Gauss Masked Woman. There's not a unicorn, but there is like this animal. I guess you would be a furry, but it's very limited. It's an animal scientist, which I just
No, you
uploaded
know what I'm talking
design.
about. When the art looks like
Oh,
furry characters,
I know
you
what
know
you're.
exactly what I'm talking about. Like
I know what
there
you're
is.
talking about.
There are books, and I like anything adjacent to furrydom. I can't. Like as far as
Yeah,
I'm
no.
concerned, all furry costumes should be burned.
It's like people talk about furries, but like I've been to plenty of conventions. I really haven't seen the community that exists around that. So whatever.
Well, they have
No,
their
I
own
just
convictions.
it's all bad. It's all bad.
Yeah.
It always leads back to the worst of the worst things. There's never a time where I've never like investigated a story that it didn't lead to something terrible. So I just like you know what I mean? I don't even want to give them the doorway to begin. Just do whatever. So that's I won't, you know what I mean? Like you can have a really odd book and be on my channel or whatever. It's more about like, do you have a good property? Do you have a good story and stuff?
Yeah.
This is the
All right.
artwork.
So here's what I did today. I guess I'll do my little pee.
Oh, is this
So this is Palmiotti. Yeah, it's kind of wonky, but the whole point to Inktober is just just to get to draw every day and practice, and it's like I really need to sit down and train, like like really, like I have a ton of art books and whatnot, and I have to learn anatomy better, and it's like this stuff.
Same. I got a bunch here.
If I give myself enough time, I could do accurately. But it's like these I'm just pushing out. These are like, it's like this took me an hour or whatever. But if I spend more time and actually do it for a couple months where I'm like training and working on my anatomy and whatnot, it's like fundamentally I know exactly how to do everything, but
And this is what I just did right now, the Phantom.
Let me give you the screen. Here we go. Nice. Cool. All right, so 24. Do you want to tell people where they can find you, or where
just Outcast Owls live on YouTube and Outcast Owls on the Twitter, and then I'm in the chats, always lurking.
Yeah, go check them out. And Frank,
you can find me on Salazar Art Nation on YouTube and Instagram, also on Facebook, and the Truckle Creative Cast on YouTube. But we also have an Instagram, so if you want to reach out, and there's two. So Anna kind of like messed up one where I can't get in, so there's one where I'm the one that has more access to. But yeah, you can find me on Truckle Creative Cast and Salazar Art Nation. And that's it. I do have an Etsy store. I'm selling a couple of mini comics, a little bundle for $5. You get actually I have them. I think I have them here somewhere. Somewhere. They're like this small. But yeah, limited copies because after I finish that storyline, I'm working on the third one. That's when we're gonna get into the graphic novel. So I'm just doing limited copies of that. So get it while you can, because it's gonna be collected in a bigger book, and then if I have enough if I make enough copies, I'll probably sell some on Etsy too. But yeah,
cool.
Where you can find me.
Yeah, I'm not selling anything. It's like I'm doing all these pieces. Like if anybody likes any specific piece I'm doing for Inktober, you can message me directly anywhere, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and like they're for sale if you want them.
You should line them up and put pictures of them on your Twitter here and there.
It's like I have too much to do. I don't have time. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there now. Like I'm posting the past one. Like I'm posting to Instagram the pieces. There specifically. Like the first 3 are up there now. I'll post more as I go, but mostly I want people to come YouTube and watch me do it. But anyway, yeah, I'm posting nonsense on Twitter or retweeting or talking to people or whatever. It's like all my socials are for different reasons.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. You know, like I said, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. What is it? 36 away now from 1,000.
Oh,
Getting
wow.
closer, getting closer.
Yeah,
Not bad.
close. Real
Yeah,
close.
so
36.
close. And
Make
yeah,
36 out accounts. And then...
that's all I need to do. I'm going to do some kind of special episode, and I'll probably get some friends to join me, and we'll do some art giveaways or something or another. But yeah, everybody have a great night. Join me here every day. I'll be drawing more and more characters. Tomorrow is episode 150. I don't really have anything special planned, just more of the same of my making comics and art series, you know. But yeah, thank you everybody.